Alright, so in today's video, I'll be talking about why most online coaches burn out before ever reaching scale. This is a very common issue that I see amongst many of my previous clients and other people just online venting about the frustrations of being an online coach, dealing with clients, dealing with VAs, dealing with all the pieces that go into running a profitable and wildly successful online coaching business. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Kevin Andres. I own a marketing agency. We work solely with online coaches, whether you're a business coach, fitness coach, relationship coach, whatever coach you might be. My goal is to give you as much information as I possibly can so that you can use your own judgment, take what you like, take what you don't like, use it in your own business, and eventually if you found it valuable or it helped you out, you reach out to me down the line, we work together, and we scale you past 100K a month. Think of me as a resource hub for different problems that you may be facing. This is a new channel, so if you have any issues or any questions that you want me to answer or videos to record about a certain topic, leave a comment below. I'm more than happy to cover any topics that you're interested in. Let's get right into it. So why do most online coaches burn out before they scale? It's very simple. It's an endless grind when you don't know what you're doing, or when you just simply don't know what to do to move on to the next step. So, you have to post every day, you have to chase your leads, manage your VAs. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself a question. Is all the time you're putting in there worth it? Something that's helpful to figure this out is, let's say a client pays you $1,000 a month, right? But between all the posting, chasing leads, all the time you put into correcting your VAs, and all the time you put in to getting that client and collecting that cash, you have to do a simple math. You have to figure out how many hours you allocate to each of these subtasks, add them up, and then divide it by your revenue. So let's say you have $1,000 again per month in one client, in one retainer, right? You spent, let's say, 50 hours getting that client, servicing it and all that. At the end of the day, when you boil it down to the hourly rate, you're making $20 an hour. You are a glorified employee. We don't want to be there. So how can you prevent that? You need better systems. Systems. This channel is all about efficiency and how you can make everything run smoother within your business, how you can automate many different parts of your business to make it smooth sailing. Leading into my next point, your real problem is you have no systems. You're always on, meaning if you stop working, your business stops too. You need systems working in the back end, automations, follow-up sequences, nurturing sequences, outreach, whether that's email, whether that's ads, or DM through a VA, which is technically automated, but through human labor. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to remove yourself from as many of those time-draining tasks, non-revenue generating tasks, how a lot of people call it. Again, like I mentioned, if you are operating without automations, you are a glorified employee. We need to make sure that you are so efficient that you make a minimum of $300 or $400 an hour when you do the math. Of course, many of you are watching are at different stages. So whether you're at 10K per month, 5K per month, 50K per month, 100K per month, it all depends. You all have different issues. I'll try to cover as many as I can. I want to change your mindset around this real quick. So doing more is not the answer. You want to be efficient, right? Efficiency is key. At the end of the day, no matter what the input is, the goal or the main focus should be the output. Right? So ideally, in a perfect world, the less you put in and the more you get out is a very efficient machine, right? Let's say you put $1 in, you get $10 out. Very efficient. Or you put $9 in, you get $10 out. Not very efficient. You can do that with a monetary example, or let's say you want to build a car, or it takes a team about 50 hours to build the chassis, right? But if this other team automated with machines and in their factory and all that, and they do it in 4, obviously you're a lot more efficient. So you get the idea. I'm not saying that you should be one of those business owners or online gurus that say, I only work 2 hours a week and I make $300,000 per day, blah, blah, blah. No, none of that bullshit. You still need to work. But at the end of the day, it's pretty much getting the most bang for your buck with your time spent or allocated on growing your business. So for those of you who've never dealt with the funnel, who have no idea what it is, it's your conversion mechanism. It quite literally looks like a digital funnel, where you have most of your leads up top over here, like in the widest part of your funnel, and down here you have your clients, right? This turns complete strangers into your most loyal supporters and customers, which you then use for testimonials, which then again give you more social proof, which you can use to get more clients. So it's a self-sustaining loop that I'll break down in another video. Like I'll record a video that's solely about funnels. But for example, the video that you're watching right now, this is the first step of my funnel. You probably have never seen me in your life. I mean, I can almost guarantee that you haven't, unless you're one of my 5 friends that subscribed to my YouTube channel before I started all this. But this is the first step. So what is my goal? I'll just take you through it. So obviously I own a marketing agency, right? Working with online coaches like yourself, or if you're not an online coach, you're just another marketer. Hello, take my content, use it for yourself if you want. But my goal here is to generate as much traffic as humanly possible. So right now you're at all the way up top right here. And my goal is to take you all the way down to being a loyal customer. How do I do that? I need to warm you up. I need to make sure that you're comfortable with me, that you use my stuff or my advice, see that it works, build trust, etc. It's all about building trust. So at the top of your funnel, your leads are the coldest. At the bottom, they're boiling hot. I mean, they're already paid, so like you don't really call them leads anymore, but they are your customers. And each piece in the funnel serves a specific purpose. Now, let me show you what that looks like. So this is taken directly from ClickFunnels. So Russell Brunson, considered the genius of funnel building online, founder of ClickFunnels.com. This is straight from his website. So this pretty much shows you the journey from a lead all the way to a client. So up top, as you can see, you have all the different traffic sources. You have Facebook, YouTube, Google, Twitter, Instagram, traffic or people, whichever you want to call it. This is where you'll have the bulk of the traffic or your customers, right? Now, if they interact with any of your content on any of the platforms listed above, they become a lead, right? Like, even if they like your content, left a comment on one of your videos, submitted a form, now you have their information, you can contact them. You know that they saw your stuff, liked it enough to, look at it or click on it, commented, leave you their information. So they're a little bit warmer than regular traffic. After that, you take him into a sales process. In this society, people are more skeptical than they ever were, right? So it's all about building trust, and whoever can build trust quickest closes the deal, right? Because obviously you're not the only one in your niche, as much as you want to believe it. Or if you're on the other end of the spectrum thinking that there are way too many people like you in there, it might be true, but for the most part, you do not realize how big your markets are. But anyways, you're in the sales process here. So you want to lead with value always. That's my philosophy. A lot of people will agree with me too. Some might not, but at the end of the day, I'm just sharing my opinion. A value-based sales process is you want to show them that you're the authority in the niche that you're serving, right? So the same way I'm doing this now, although you are all the way up top, eventually, if you sign up for one of my newsletters or join a group, you will be hit or hammered with content about how to grow your business, stuff that you can implement on a day-to-day that will make a difference in your business, that then you can say, oh, Kayvon is legit. I wonder what else he has to say. So if his free stuff is good, I wonder how good his paid stuff is, right? So then once you're past the sales process, you're in the customer stage. Now that you're a customer, you manage to convince them that your product or service will help them or benefit them to get them to their goal, whatever it is. If it's to lose weight, if it's to make more money, if it's to make better life decisions, if you're a therapist or a life coach, whatever you may be. And then at the end of the day, the ascend stage is something that people will not talk about much, which is a bit more advanced, I guess, where once you've serviced your client for a while, let's say your program is 6 months long, you want to upsell them or ascend them into a higher ticket program, because now that they work with you for 6 or 12 months, they should be in a very different position than where they were when they started. If they're not, there might be an issue with your coaching, but point being is you need to give them that next step. Clients that have already purchased from you are your most valuable assets, right? This is all pure profit because you already paid for the acquisition, right? Whether that's, your team members that nurtured them, your ad spend to get them all the way down there, whatever costs associated to getting them to pay you are gone at this point, right? They're factored in the initial purchase. So now you want to ascend them in another program. So that's something that we'll tap on into another video. As you can see on the left-hand side, you see how there's fewer and fewer stick figures on the left-hand side. Well, here's the deal. The same way a funnel, constricts the flow at the bottom, it's the same way here, because every step of the funnel journey is another friction point. So you will lose more and more people the further down you go. This is why tracking and having systems in place is key, because all these different people that you have here, although they drop off, you still should have their information. You still should have an idea of how to get a hold of them. So then later on, whether that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, even a year or two, you have their information. And if it's from free traffic like YouTube or Facebook posts or whatever, these are so valuable. These leads are so valuable because your CAC, your cost to acquire a customer, is pretty much zero. As you go further down, the fewer and fewer people, but you still want to maximize each stage to get the juice out of all of them. Now, this is your new strategy moving forward. You should focus on your funnel. And for a lot of you that think that funnels are just for paid ads, you're wrong. You can do it whatever traffic source that you redirect to, whether that's to your content, a link in your bio, your email campaign, All of this should redirect to a funnel, right? So based on their levels or their criterias, your criterias of qualification, you know, if it's a certain revenue threshold or not, they will be routed to different products, which again, that's a whole nother topic. But your funnel is your warming machine. It's your heater. It's your lead heater, essentially. Now that you understand that a funnel is key to your coaching program, you have to figure out what is the best funnel for you. So you have DTA, which is direct to application, which is as soon as somebody sees an ad or your content, they click on it, it goes straight to the landing page where you have your headline, your VSL, and an application directly underneath. Some people put the application to show up after a couple minutes. Some people show it directly. Some people won't show it until the entire VSL is watched, right? A VSL is the same principle, but you got to watch the VSL. Usually there's an opt-in stage to collect the information, such as an email address, phone number, and a full name. Webinar, same deal, but you essentially sell them on there directly, which is what you use a VSL for in the first place, but more on that in another video. There are so many different funnels that you can use for your business. It's sometimes it gets confusing. You have to figure out what works best for you, and you have to test them, and they have to be fair tests. You can't try one for one day and let's say, again, on ads. I keep talking about ads because that's how I do it for myself mainly, but you can't spend $100 on one funnel, spend $1,000 on the other, get 2 submittals on the $1,000 funnel and be like, oh yeah, this one's better. It's not fair because you spent 10 times more on that campaign versus the other one. Now, what is the outcome of having a bulletproof funnel with the right systems in place? Help you figure out what the biggest bottleneck in your business is. At the end of the day, what gets measured gets improved. So arithmetics is not an opinion. Math never lies. So if you don't like math, well, you better start getting used to it, because your math or your business math will determine your business health, your potential, your growth, everything. So know your numbers inside and out. Track everything. If you fix the right bottleneck, you grow. If you grow, you make more money. You make more money, you got more resources. You have more resources, you can hire more people, better talent, you can pay for more software, you can spend more on ads to have more traffic. The benefits are endless. The end goal is for you to have more mental bandwidth to focus on growing everything else. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This is my first video, so I apologize if my thoughts are a little scattered or if I'm going a bit off script, which I don't script if you can tell. I like to be authentic and kind of run you through what's going on in my brain as I speak about a certain topic. But if you're under 15K per month, I encourage you to join the Coaching Colosseum, which I created for coaches that are not at 15K per month yet. My goal is to help you get above that, and then you can start running ads, hopefully with us, if you find our content useful or if we earn your trust by then. You get access to 2 weekly live calls in there every week with other coaches that are making more than 6 figures a month. Very valuable resources. A coaching call. I don't like to call myself a coach because I just want to be a resource for you. I don't claim to be a coach. I'm not that cool. I just want to give you access to my brain, essentially. So everything that's worked, everything that didn't work, everything that I found online that I thought was useful, I bundle it all up together for you to find in one place. We have modules covering offers, service delivery, tech stacks, ads, all the shebang that you need to grow. If you are over 15K per month though, I invite you to click the link below, apply to work with us on a pay-per-client model, meaning you only pay us after you get paid. So what do we do there? We build your entire acquisition system from A to Z. We script your ads, script your VSLs, build out your funnels, build out the email sequences, the tech stacks, all the linking in the backend, everything you need to talk to qualified prospects every day. And what are your responsibilities? Very simple. You show up on the call and you close the deals. That's it. Wherever you may be, you have a different path to follow. Like this video, subscribe if you found it valuable, leave a comment about any ideas or any topics you would like me to cover. Again, this is a new channel, so my goal is to just give you guys as much value as possible. So let me know how I can help. See you guys in the next one.